Hey guys, welcome to the next episode, and today we're going to talk about the little trip I took. Earlier I thought I'd call it the Thunder from Down Under until I googled it and I found this image. So moving on from there, I'm just going to call it the tour. And we start off from New Delhi, just to revise where all we went, stop over at Singapore, and then we reach our first main destination of Auckland, where we stayed at the Skycity Hotel and Casino. And there, after 2-3 days, we went to Queenstown, a beautiful town in the south of New Zealand, flying over to our destination Melbourne, where we got action at the Crown Casino, and our last pit stop at Sydney. So we had 4 hours to kill at the Changi airport, and big tip guys, electronics, pick it up from here. It's cheap, you get a lot of variety. And once we had done our lazing around and shopping, we were ready for Auckland. We boarded our long haul flight and it was time to reach Auckland. Okay, it's bright and early, first morning in New Zealand, in Auckland, and yeah, we are out to get some breakfast.
Skycity, see up there.
Okay, we're gonna show you something. So this is in our backyard. Whoa! You have to see this. Those are the sizes. Lol, OMG, and what the fuck. How cool. After a nice breakfast, we were ready to visit Waiheke Island. That is the tourist place to go. Thank you. You can hear is seagulls and the waves and the crickets and nothing else. It's pretty darn awesome. And as for all the poker players out there, I think some unwinding is very much needed, so this I think is the perfect spot for it. I'm gonna chill here for a while before we hit up some wineries. But
jump!
we're gonna have lunch over here. I definitely recommend it because out of all the other wineries, I guess this has one of the best views. So that was a day well spent in Waiheke, and as the day came to a close, it was about time to do what we came here for, some good old poker. Hi everyone, so I was playing the tournament right now, got a 5-minute break. It's been an hour 40 minutes and we started with 10k stack. It went up and down, so just to review a few hands. There was a guy who was playing really loose next to me, and there was 3 X-rays, Jack 10. I had Ace 10 offsuit, and there was 10 and 8.
the guy put in 1200, I put in 2400, and then the other guy calls, everyone on the table calls. The turn is an 8. One guy checks, I check behind, and then the third player shoves. I fold, and eventually they both eventually converted the hand into a straight, and I would have lost, so that dodged a bullet there. I was down to 4,000. That's like 40% of my stack, and after that then I doubled up kings versus ace jack. Kings held up, different field, around 50 people playing right now, down to 35 I guess now, and it's a freeze out, so yeah, you got to be careful. We had around 5600 late position facing a 3x normal raise. We shoved 5600 against a 900 raise. I was expecting a fold. The guy calls with aces, and guess what? On the flop we cracked the aces, we hit a 3. So now I have around 5600. It's the first break, so it's good to make it to the break, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Hey guys, so the tournament is over clearly, but I thought I'd apprise you on what went through. So we were around 13 big blinds when the small big was 300, 600 and 9500 in chips to be exact. Was hit with pocket fours. I raised, took a blind steal. Then in the next hand, in the small blind, I had king 6, and I played that hand, won that hand with top pair, and went up to around again a few big blinds up. And the next hand was pocket 5s in the middle. I raised with just one player in. He calls. Flop is pretty good for us. It's queen queen 9, uncoordinated board. We bet half pot and get a fold and go up to 17,500 in chips. Thereafter, one thing I realized in my game was everyone was playing pretty tight. So whenever I got a good hand, like I got pocket queens a couple of times, and a re-raise would make for a fold. So this time I wanted to have more use my implied odds and play the hand. So I just limp in with pocket queens, and the flop is jack 5x. The first player to act bets in around 1/3 of the pot, or was it 2/3, around that much. I sense that he has top pair or something, and I can get good money out of him. And in this case, everybody just folds to me, and I shove. I get a call. Lucky me, he has queen jack, and we have pocket queens. We are ahead. The board runs dry for him, and we are 32,800 in chips. Okay, nothing big happens after that. We make it to the final table. Yes, it's my first final table in an international tournament, and yeah, it was good feeling. The game was pretty tight. Thereafter, everyone was playing for the position, and nothing big really happened. I stole a couple of blinds, won a few flips, all in with 6s. I had another position I wanted to go all in with 6s, but somebody shoved before me, so I folded. We were down to around 7 people, and then I had a hand against this is how the tournament ended. So I had a hand ace queen offsuit, and the blinds was around 3,000, 6,000. I had around 41,000 behind. I just raised 12,000 with the intention of getting a fold. This guy on my left, Indian guy, who'd been really fishy play throughout, and who was imagined shoving with ace x in the middle of the tournament, and he was still here. He goes all in. He has probably thrice or 4 times my stack. I snap call, and I'm really happy when I see his cards. It's king 2 suited, and I have ace queen offsuit. First card on the flop is a 2. He hits his lowest pair, and we run dry. Here ended the tournament. So overall I was pretty happy with my performance, and the couple of things that the lessons that I learned: understand the tournament and play as per the structure. So this tournament weirdly had no antes at all. So that meant I had to play tighter because there were no antes to play for. So I just played tight in position, and that helped me a lot. Whereas other players were very loose. So one of the things I noticed was that I was one of the youngest people on the tables, and the other younger players, they rose really quickly in chip count, and they fell even quicker. So patience was one thing that helped me. The younger players were more volatile. The older players were more stable and tight. I was pretty aware of my image, so I knew that I had a tight image. So towards the end, when I wanted the fold equity to seal the blinds when they were high, I got a lot of that. And when I did limp in with big hands, I used the implied odds in my favor, so that was pretty good. Another thing I want to talk about aside from poker is the mental side of things. So I think almost whatever could have gone wrong went wrong in this poker situation. So let me just update you. An hour before the tournament, or 1.5 hours before the tournament, I meditated, relaxed, stretched, all those things, mentally got ready for anything. I got pretty much anything. So there was a delay in registration, so that delayed my plans. I had to get dinner sorted out, and I don't know if I should be sharing this, but half an hour in the game the tournament started, I had food poisoning. Yeah, like half an hour into the game. It was from the deli in the casino, and the rest 6 hours I was just dehydrated and my head was spinning. But I stuck in there and I got to the final table. I'm not complaining, but the meditation bit helped. I just breathed and I said focus, focus, focus. The longest time, I think for 3/4 of the time I was playing, I was short stacked around 8,000 chips. I just waited for my hand, played tight, and yeah, that helped me. I kept on focus, and I constantly kept a constant track of the effective stack sizes, how everyone was playing, because this is an online poker, right? I had to count everyone's chips, everyone in, keep track of the pot, see if the counts were worth it. So yeah, overall it was a great experience, and I'm pretty proud of how I played. And let me know what you think of the gameplay. Hope you guys liked this episode of the Down Under Tour, the first part. There's loads to come in the next part. We're going to travel to Queenstown and Melbourne and Sydney and do a lot of fun stuff there and hit up some cash tables and some tournaments as well. Let me know what you guys think of this episode, and I would love your feedback. And yeah, looking forward to show you guys the next episode.